Now with Gary Cooper. He's the chairman of the Leeds United Supporters Trust. Never a dull moment as a Leeds fan, Gary. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Never a dull moment. And again today we seem to be back talking about activities off the pitch, when really at the end of the first week in June, wouldn't it be fantastic if we were sat here talking about the signings that we'd made, the ambition that we're showing for next season, and how we're going to get promoted. It's a sad day, unfortunately. Another one.
Is it sort of tough going as a Leeds fan when there is so much talk about matters of how the club is run, rather than enthusing about players and patterns of play and who beat who and all that kind of stuff?
It's weird because as supporters we invest our money in Leeds United. To whatever degree that might be. I'm sure it's to whatever degree we can each afford. But much more than that, we invest our emotional well-being. We invest our hearts in Leeds. And the return on that investment seems to be disappointment. Transfer window in, transfer window out, season in, season out, off-pitch activity after off-pitch activity. It beggars belief, it honestly does. And I really would like to be sat here today talking about, what a great signing Joe Ward's going to be, or why Clint Hill hasn't signed another one-year deal at QPR, or why Matty Kilgallen wants to come home rather than play at Sunderland. But I can't talk about any of those things. We're talking about a court case. A court case, for God's sake. It's not a good day. It really isn't.
Your Leeds United Supporters Trust and yourself are on the record of wanting regime change, a new form of management at the club. You've talked a lot about that there. Does this development today make that any more likely? Is Ken Bates any more likely to leave the chairmanship of the club? Will he be unsettled by this?
Only a fool second guesses what Ken Bates is going to do, and I'm certainly not going to do that. As a trust, we worked with our members, with the RMCs, with the supporters club, and with the wider Leeds fan base way back in December and January to produce what we called a vision statement. And that vision statement really it sets what the trust wants. It doesn't have to be a change of ownership, and I explained that many times in the past. The Trust isn't a Bates-out organisation, despite the fact that many would claim we are. Many of our members would like to see the back of Ken Bates. There's no question about that. But what we want to see, more than anything else, is ambition at Leeds United. We want to see a football club behaving like a football club, showing ambition on the pitch. Corporate facilities are great, no problem there at all. But they won't get you promoted. They won't score you the goals that need to get you promoted. People like Ross McCormack score us the goals, and we believe now the club can't agree a contract with Ross McCormack. We want to see ambition, and part of that ambition is to work positively with people like Leeds City Council, West Yorkshire Police, the local media, yourselves, for example. And we want to do that free from bans and lawsuits and public spats. But all we seem to have is negativity, nothing positive at all coming out of the club that suggests that the current owners and the current board share our ambition. The club manager and the club captain, in statements at the end of the season, certainly do share the fans' ambition. They very obviously realise what needs to happen to take this club forward. And I would suggest that both Neil Warnock and Robert Snodgrass would dearly love the club to show that ambition. But here we are again, talking about a court case that's going to cost the club countless how much. We know the YEP estimated the 2009 libel case cost about 1.5 million.
Well, Gary, let me just give you an update, actually, because we did. You say there that things have been very quiet from the club. We did request a reaction from the club on what this means today, the judgment against Ken Bates, and we also posed the question: who will pay the legal fees and the fine? Now, we were simply told nobody was available to comment from the club. That there was simply nobody, would say anything. So I'm afraid we're in the dark on in terms of what the club are saying today, unfortunately. But we did give them the right of reply, as we should here on BBC Radio Leeds.
Well, I think all radio stations should give the right of reply. And it's a fact that Radio Leeds do. I wonder if Yorkshire Radio are invited independent comment on what's happened today. I very much doubt it. But yeah, I mean, look, Mr. Harvey at the hearing said that the club is spending what he described as a fortune. Now, Mr. Harvey earns a lot of money every year, an awful lot more than I do, and I know what I think a fortune is. So if it's a fortune in his eyes, then we need to know how much money and where is it coming from. Because if it's coming from Leeds United Football Club, it's coming from the supporters' pockets.
You'd like that to be made very, very clear. Wrong. Yeah, that's understandable. Gary, just moving on to other matters, and that's, of course, the ongoing speculation about a takeover. Your outfit has been talking to interested parties. We're actually about a week or more down the line. Is there anything is there any hope?
Well, I'm the kind of fellow that looks at half a pint of bitter and says, my cup's half a pint full. So, yeah, there's always hope. The Trust has been very fortunate. We have spoken to people that are interested in buying Leeds United. I honestly can't say any more than that at this stage, but I can say that what we've been told by the club, that the Morons put investors off and the Morons, people, there's no money in Yorkshire, I can tell you that isn't true. And that there is interest in Leeds United. But the people who are interested in buying Leeds United really don't have a great deal of interest in investing and working with Mr. Bates. They want to buy the club, full stop.
Interesting. All right, Gary Cooper, really appreciate your comments this afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Gary Cooper there. He's the chairman of the Leeds United Supporters Trust. We'll get all the detail for you.